Hey there, welcome back to Shelly's Sanctuary. Today is December 18th, 2020. Yes, we are still in this year. And today I'm going to be talking about an ancient healing Hawaiian prayer. It's also used as a practice, kind of a mantra. It's very simple and very, very effective. It's called Ho'oponopono. And yes, I believe I said that right. Ho'oponopono. So it is 4 simple phrases. I love you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. And thank you. And when I first heard it, I thought, okay, am I praying this to God to love me and to forgive me and that I'm sorry? And I really expanded my mind a little bit on that and thought, well, it can mean a lot of things. You could be, you could have had a fight with a boyfriend or a husband or a friend or a coworker. It doesn't matter. Maybe you're harboring some really deep feelings about that and you just need to let it go. And sometimes it's hard to do that and you feel guilt for maybe treating that person that way. Maybe even though maybe you said you were sorry, you still feel guilt about it. So I think it's a great prayer or meditation. So yes, very simply, if you pray, you would just say those words in your prayer. You could say it 3 or 4 times, but then it kind of becomes more of a meditation. And to do meditations, it's very helpful to have different things, tools I use personally. I will lay down and I put my healing stones because I do have some stomach issues that happened to me when I wasn't taking care of my body the way that I should have been, because I was caring for my mother and also my father, and it was a very difficult time and all my energy and everything went to that. I had no time for me. So I think you guys have heard me talk about that before, so I won't go into that. But so for me, my healing that I personally need and what I use this prayer for, this meditation for, is for healing my whole anything that's in the abdominal region is just, a little off right now. So I am working on those things. I am medication free and I'm super happy about that. Yeah, I still struggle with some pain, but I'm not going back to medicine because medicine will never cure it. It's kind of one of those things that, hey, you can be on this the rest of your life or you can fix the problem. And I've never been one of these people who want to be on a medication for the rest of my life. That does not sound appealing to me whatsoever. So yes, I choose to heal with foods and heal with meditation. And I absolutely believe that if you place all of your intent on a certain area of your body that is bothering you, maybe it's your heart. So some people place their hand over their heart when they say this prayer, this mantra, or they place their hands wherever the pain is. It just could be headaches. So, you put your hands on your head and just really focus your intention on all your energy and what you're saying to heal, the headaches, to get blood flowing there into the other areas of your body that need it. I put the stones on my stomach, and there is a link down below that I posted for you guys that is it's an hour long of someone saying this prayer over and over again. I love you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Thank you. And those words are really hard to say sometimes, because you're like, just saying I'm sorry and you're saying forgive me, even though you think maybe you did something right and they did something wrong and you were nasty to them and you shouldn't have been so nasty to them. It doesn't matter. Those are very healing words to say. And it's very humbling. For some people, you can play it in the car. And just instead of listening to the radio or something distracting you, you can just be listening to this and thinking more positive thoughts instead of, being mad at the traffic, or being mad at what happened at work, or what you're going to go home to might be upsetting, or it's going to be chaotic, and you just need some time to yourself, to tell yourself that you love yourself and you forgive yourself. So for me, I'm telling my body, I love you. I'm sorry for neglecting you. Please forgive me, and thank you for the healing that I'm going to be receiving. That goes back to, the attitude of gratitude and feeling in the moment already as if it has happened. So you're letting yourself feel the effects of whatever healing you're wanting to receive, or whatever peace of mind you are wanting to receive, that you've already felt that. So that is why you are saying thank you. So, I love my body. You should love your body. You should love yourself. And if you don't, I'll make a segment for that one, because that's where you always have to start. You have to start with loving yourself, always. If you cannot love yourself properly, you cannot give the kind of love that you want to receive. Okay, so what an awesome prayer. And I love Hawaii so much. I think they have so many wonderful traditions, and the place is literally heaven on earth. If you've never been there, I urge you to go. There's a lot of power in the mind for healing, and I just love it. I think it's beautiful. Everything about Hawaii to me is beautiful. Like I said, just use it how you want to, and let it heal those negative thoughts that you've got going. Just let go of guilt. If you have guilt from, maybe you've already asked somebody for forgiveness and you still feel guilty about it, and you're just harboring that guilt and it is just eating at you, or whatever it is. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you could just be asking the universe, God, for forgiveness. Okay. Love yourself, forgive yourself. And through that, I really do believe that you can find amazing healing in it. God is on our side, and we need to have a lot of trust in him. And he made our bodies to be able to heal themselves. People were healing their bodies way long before conventional medicine came out. We are really behind the times, if you think about it. If you really, really look at all of the ancient teachings of medicine and healing, and people lived on the earth. They didn't live in houses and walk around in rubber shoes everywhere. They were connected to the earth. The energy flowed. They worked with energy. That was a totally normal thing, because literally connected to earth. Think about like Native American Indians and all of their traditions and all of how they heal and the medicine and all their beliefs. We are way behind the curve. So if you think this is a little kooky and out there, it really isn't at all. It's actually everything that's been presented to us in the past 100 years is a little kooky. Not all of it. Don't get me wrong. There have been some great discoveries about the body, the human mind, the human brain, and now discoveries on the human mind, which is great. But don't discount it. Don't think it's hokey. I'm telling you, try, branch out and try different things. Don't just run to your doctor every time you feel sick and get the latest drug you saw on TV with that long list of side effects, mind you. So, and guess what always happens? My husband and I were just joking about this the other day. He said he was getting really irritated at these commercials with the lawsuits. Oh, if you have a tingle in your foot, then you need to jump in this lawsuit because, you could have been exposed to this and that, and you have money coming your way. And I said, no. What I find really, I don't even know the word for it, it's not funny, is that first you see the commercials for conventional medicine and you're like, oh my God, I have those symptoms. I need to get that. Well, guess what? You go and run to your doctor and you tell him that's what you want. And lo and behold, that's what he gives you. He gives you exactly what you asked for. Unless he sees some really big issue with some kind of interaction. But normally they're just going to give it to you. And then a few years later, you hear these commercials and you hear them on the radio, you see them on TV, and they're saying, yeah, so if you ever took this drug for neuropathy or whatever it was for, depression. So we're now finding people like, dropping dead and, half their body's paralyzed and they came up with cancer and they had a random heart attack, crazy stuff. So that's what I find interesting. They push it, you get it. A couple years later, or maybe 5 or 10 years later, you're hearing about the lawsuits for all the damage that it has done to people. But they don't have any problem advertising and making you feel like, hey, that's what you need. You need to get out there and get that drug right now. So that's really irritating. That's I'm so irritated with that. Like, I've been irritated with that for a long time. I moved over to Amsterdam several years ago, lived there for 4 years. And that was not happening before I moved to Amsterdam. We did not have those commercials. So yeah, this was back to like 2001. And by the time I got back, I was like, what are these commercials? Like, I was dealing with some medical stuff over there. We didn't have commercials for that stuff over there. I was seeing a homeopathic doctor. And then of course the doctors there are very, not natural minded, but they're very, very hesitant to give you antibiotics. So I'm not saying that the health system or, how it all works over there politically, I'm not saying that that was a good thing. I'm just saying that they were very hesitant to give you drugs. And I found that really refreshing, along with all the fresh fruits and vegetables that were just automatically organic. You didn't have to pay extra for it to be organic. It just was. Bread would go bad in 3 to 4 days, just done. So you would buy like a tiny little half loaf, milk, done, 3 or 4 days. Crazy. Like fruits, vegetables, you better eat them quick. So you were out almost every day shopping for things. Okay, I'm going on a whole different topic. So I'm going to stop with that and say, Ho'oponopono is the prayer. And I hope that you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. And that it brings you peace and healing. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, aloha from Shelly Sanctuary.